Sometimes life's regrets carries its biggest lessons. I know people don't always like to admit when they're wrong or the mistakes that they've made, but that's where true processing and growth can come out of. So let's get into it. I'd like to begin with a reflection on my life that I didn't get out as much as I'd like to. There were missed social opportunities due to being more introverted with some extroverted tendencies. It's hard to say if I've missed out as much as I think I have. I'd like to think it's not anything that's terribly life-altering. Forgive me for reading this, but it's a list, so I'll just read it. Throughout my life, there seem to be reoccurring issues of scheduling conflicts, traveling issues, affordability issues, different interests and preferences, even people not thinking I posted good enough on social media, or my emojis weren't right that day. So therefore, we cannot meet up or hang out because of that. I wish I was making that up. The fact that if somebody had perceived I was using an emoji incorrectly, then all bets are off. I will hear from people more when they're happier with my use of social media. If it looks good and I'm showing highlights, I'm just saying it's an interesting note. I will hear from people more than if I'm perceived as doing poorly over social media. So anyways, I'm talking about continued issues that I've had with isolation and loneliness, as it were, and that's something I've talked about on my YouTube channel before. And so what's the regret here? Well, the regret is how many times I felt I wasn't good enough for connection. I have spent more time in waiting to better myself than to really feel like I could be able to be around people. As time goes by, of course, I have had troubles in my life, and that isn't unexpected from me, considering my personal history, some of which I've made public. I found going through such things also creates further distance between myself and potential social opportunities. When I have fallen into a hole, it takes time for me to unwind from that disruption when possibly relapsing or experiencing symptoms with my mental health due to trauma, grief, and other reasons I don't need to get into. Again, I have ended up spending more time on solitude and escapism than connection. I'm aware of this. Staying isolated isn't ideal. However, it has gotten me this far. Making decisions to be more reclusive doesn't come without a lot of thought and reasoning. I know for me, I did it or leaned into it more for safety reasons. I will stand on this that my creativity saved me. I wouldn't still be here if it wasn't for the fact that I stayed dedicated to my creativity and found solace in expressing myself through song. Now there's a double-edged sword because it is risky to stay inside too much. It is also risky to go and be around a group of people. Even if you think you can trust them, that doesn't really matter because the risk for being attacked threatened or put down is still there. As I sit here in my isolation, my space here, I know that there are some people who want me to be where I am. There are people that want me to stay small. They want me to fail. They don't want me to win or engage in life, that they're better off without having to see or hear from me. Now, my feelings of regret are not limited to just not feeling good enough for connection, but it's also that I internalized a lot of that outside stuff, knowing that there were people that really did not care for me at all and wanted me to be excluded, ostracized. The idea that I deserved to be treated like a piece of gum on the side of the road, not worth anyone's time, that there are actively individuals and groups that think very little of me. And I believe that that's because my stories, my claims, and experiences are inconvenient. It's just easier to push me to the side so they don't have to think about that anymore. Yet despite these challenges, I know the escape hatch that I've been looking for. It isn't for me to become more isolated and staying in more. What I'm learning is I can leave more room for connection with more of the people that work with me instead of against me. And that's it for now. I hope that that has been helpful for someone out there. I will continue more in the next video. Thank you for listening. Take care. Be well. Bye for now.